life that I chose to lead. See, mama, I changed my ways. I praise God, mama, every day. Mama.
Hey, you remember this HBO series, The Wire?
No doubt, one of my favorite shows.
Man, look, every time they portray Avon Bodie Barksdale in The Wire.
What about it?
To me, I don't like it.
Well, you don't like the actor that was playing?
They're not portraying him right.
Well, he's not real.
He is real.
Avon Barksdale that played on The Wire is real.
Yeah, he really grew up with me.
Not an actor.
He ain't no damn actor.
There's a real Avon Barksdale.
There's a real Avon Bodie Barksdale.
Alive and free walking the street.
Alive and free, but it's one problem.
What?
Don't ever call him Avon.
His story ain't pretty. In fact, his story is pretty disturbing. Actor Wood Harris knows both sides of Barksdale's story. He plays the notorious Avon Barksdale character who was a powerful Baltimore gangster in the HBO series The Wire. Now, the show's creator calls him fiction.
This environment is real. People watch this show, they don't even be knowing. They think we're making it up stuff.
In real life, this is Nathan Avon Barksdale.
My baby mama live right there, but she ain't in the house. I sent for something cold to drink, but she ain't sent it. Good thing she's probably just come out acting crazy, you know? So, fuck my yellow jacket up, you know what I mean?
In real life, during the 80s, Barksdale was a notorious and resilient businessman. However, most people would call him a drug dealer or a drug kingpin. He had a knack for cheating death. Some of Barksdale's real violent battles are documented by former newspaper journalist David Simon. Now, Simon is also the creator of the critically acclaimed TV series The Wire. Simon says that The Wire is fiction. But it's more than coincidence that the names Barksdale, Marlowe, and others who are composite characters in the TV show are also familiar names Simon used to write about during his days as a reporter in Baltimore. Barksdale says he's okay if Simon and others use his name.
Come back with the water.
He's even okay if some of the stories he sees on TV are remarkably similar to stories he lived or knew about when he was a gangster. He talked to the show's producers about what life was like during his reign. But he also told them, you better not cross the line.
I was this crazy, man. I was in the joint. I was this crazy. I said to the man, don't make me no rat and don't make me no snitcher. Since y'all say, you know, it ain't nothing I can do to stop it, just don't do that and I won't kill your ass.
Barksdale's mother, Emma Barksdale Greer, says that she hasn't seen much of the show The Wire. The former school teacher, real estate investor, and mother of 5 boys says it's not her kind of show.
I saw part of it, but it was so embarrassing I never looked at it again. I couldn't relate to it.
Embarrassing hearing your son's name?
Well, you know, I just couldn't relate to it. You know, normally I just don't like stuff like that anyway.
You know, some people are uneasy that the real Barksdale's out of jail and walking the streets again. Perhaps they remember some of the things they heard and some of the things that Simon wrote about as a journalist. Maybe they remember some of the things documented on TV newscasts and in Simon's newspaper articles back in the 80s when Barksdale was in power.
The 2 suspects in the apartment, one a 16-year-old, the other 25-year-old Nathaniel Barksdale, were injured in the gunfire.
In a few interviews, Barksdale talks to actor Wood Harris about his disturbingly unbelievable life. Leaving the studio for a more familiar environment, Barksdale also tells his story in an old boxing gym where he met some of his old friends. Always on the move, this time in one of his club hangouts, he shared some thoughts about old friends, fights with enemies, and an impressionable childhood. You know, Barksdale's life as a kid may have contributed to his actions as an adult. Those are the years when lives are shaped, and in many cases, lives are lost.
Some of the events was, first was the riots of '68. That had a lot to do with the way my mentality was shaped, the way I viewed the world, the way I viewed the police, it wasn't no officer friendly in my neighborhood.
Elaborate on that. That's one of the main questions too. Like elaborate on that. Like the riots. What was it like? Because people might not be able to fathom it. People might not be able to picture it.
But I got my first case during the riots of '68. Martin Luther King was gunned down, and
black cities were just going up.
Yeah, went crazy, right? And went crazy. Rebelled. They were mourning him, and that's how we do. Sometimes we act out, and we went and got us some of that money, man.
Barksdale grew up in Baltimore's roughest projects, and he found himself having to fight over and over and over again. Early on, fights were just downright petty and revolved around just his name.
Wait, you said it was Nathan Avon.
Nathan, man.
Nathan, my fault, Nathan.
Nobody call me no Avon.
My fault. Tell us about that, the birth name.
Oh, I had big trouble about that shit in the projects, man. They would call you the Avon lady and shit.